Hello everyone, welcome back. And before starting the lecture, I would like to thank all of you who have written to us through mails and stating that our videos are really helping you in preparing for the entrance exam. We are really happy to know that we are reaching out to you well. So please keep writing to us and please keep encouraging us so that we can come up with more informative videos for you all. All right, then let us begin our today's lecture. And you are with me, Surbhi Unyal, and this is the series on Introduction to Indian Philosophy. And today we are going to take up Nyaya epistemology. Nyaya, as you must be aware, belongs to the orthodox tradition of Indian philosophy since it believes in the authority of Vedas. It was founded by the great sage Gautama, who was also known as Akshapad. Therefore, Nyaya philosophy is also known as Akshapad system. It is also known as Tarkashastra, or the study of reasoning, since it is primarily concerned with right logical thinking and the knowledge of reality. Nyayikas believe in atomistic pluralism and logical realism. It is allied to the Vaisheshika school since both these schools have similar philosophy, so they are often studied together. Where Vaisheshika develops metaphysics and ontology, Nyayikas develop logic and epistemology. But the ultimate aim of both these schools is the cessation of suffering, which leads to liberation. So let us begin our lecture on Nyaya epistemology, or the theory of knowledge. So what is knowledge? What is knowledge according to Nyaya? According to Nyaya, knowledge, which is Gyan, or cognition, which is Buddhi, is the manifestation of objects. It is also defined as apprehension or consciousness. Just like how in a dark room, if a lamp is brought, it reveals or shows the physical things present in the room. In the similar manner, knowledge also reveals the objects which comes before it. Knowledge may be valid or invalid. Valid knowledge is defined as the right apprehension of an object, or which is also known as Yatharth Anubhav. Nyaya believes in the theory of correspondence, which is Paratah Pramanyavad. It is very important from the point of view of objective exams, so please keep in mind that Nyaya believes in the theory of correspondence, or Paratah Pramanyavad, which means that knowledge, in order to be valid, must correspond to the reality. While invalid knowledge includes memory, doubt, error, and hypothetical reasoning. Why memory? Memory because it is not presentative, it is representative. Doubt because in doubt we are not certain. Error because error is misapprehension. And hypothetical reasoning is no real knowledge. So all these four come under the category of invalid knowledge. Thus, valid knowledge is presentative. And this valid presentative knowledge is known as Prama, which is certain, which is unerring, and which is non-reproductive experience of an object. Now, how do we get this valid knowledge, or how do we get Prama? We get this valid knowledge through the means of knowing the valid knowledge, which is known as Praman. Nyayikas believe in four valid means of knowledge, which are perception, which is pratyaksh, inference, which is anuman, comparison, which is upman, and testimony, which is shabd. Again, very, very important for exam purpose, as you could be asked, how many pramans does Nyaya believes in? So Nyaya believes in four valid means of knowledge in order to attain valid knowledge. So let us start with perception. What is perception? Gautama defines perception as non-erroneous cognition, which is brought through the contact of sense organs with the objects, which is not associated with the names and which is well defined. The definition for perception given by Gautama is Indriyarth sanikarshottapam jnanam avyapadeshyam avyabhichari vyavasatmak pratyaksham. Now perception could be of two types. Ordinary perception, which is known as lokik, and extraordinary perception, which is known as alokik. Ordinary perception is when there is a usual contact of the sense organs with the objects. Then it is an ordinary perception. But when we have a perception through the extraordinary medium, then it is known as extraordinary perception. Ordinary perception can be further divided into internal and external perception. In the internal perception, mind, which is considered as an internal organ, it comes into the contact with the psychical states and processes like pain, pleasure, cognition, desire, and so on. In the external perception, our five sense organs, they come into the contact with the external objects, and this is known as external perception. While extraordinary perception is of three types: Samanya Lakshana, Jnana Lakshana, and Yogaj. Samanya Lakshana perception is the perception of the universals. According to Nyayikas, universals belong to the distinct class of reals. So whenever you are perceiving a particular thing, you are also perceiving a universal which inheres in that particular. For example, if you look at a cow, you are looking at a particular cow, but in that particular cow, you also perceive universal cowness. In Jnana Lakshana perception, different senses become so closely associated with one another that they become integral part of the single perception. For example, if you're looking at a rose and you utter that it is a fragrant rose, and you are standing at a distance. So here what is happening is your eyes are doing the work of your nose, in the sense that you're not smelling the rose as such, but just by looking at the rose, you can feel that it is a fragrant rose. Because from your past experience, you know that this kind of a rose smell in this particular manner. So in the present situation, when you look at a similar kind of a rose, you utter that it is a fragrant rose. So you're not near to it, you did not smell it, but just by seeing it, you come to know that it is fragrant. Therefore, the perception of the fragrant rose through your eyes is Jnana Lakshana perception. The third type of extraordinary perception is Yogaj perception. This is an intuitive and immediate perception of an object in the past, present, as well as in the future, which is by the yogins through the power of meditation. Lastly, Nyayikas maintain that there are two stages of perception. The first is indeterminate perception, which is Nirvikalp, and the next is the determinate perception, which is Savikalp. Nirvikalpaka perception is the bare awareness. It is the direct experience where we do not conceptualize, where we just perceive the things immediately. While Savikalpaka perception is the clear perception of an object with all its attributes, and therefore it is known as determinate perception. With this, we come to an end of the lecture, and we are going to do the other three praman, that are inference, comparison, and testimony, in our next video. So please stay with us. Please keep watching our videos. So thank you very much for watching our video and supporting us. Thank you.